Greetings from a sunny town in the southeast of England, or as I like to say, the United States of Milton Keynes. Okay, right. I'm going to try and snap out of it. I'm extremely tired today, and I am so grateful that the universe scheduled it so that my postings on YouTube, or the recordings rather, are done when I'm walking, because I'm sure I've read that somewhere, something about you attribute a new habit to something, anyway, something along those lines. So I was really tired, and one of the luxuries of unemployment is that you can sleep during the day. You can actually nap. So I thought, you know what, let me earn my nap. Let me actually work for my nap. So that's why I'm walking. And because I'm tired, thankfully, I can walk slower. And also, I'm wearing shoes that I can't really walk too fast in them anyway, because they're my running around mom trainers. I choose to call them mom trainers myself, because normally I hate it when something is related to being a mom. Thank you. This is the development I want to buy a house in. So the least they could do is let me cross. Yeah, so I want to own a home here. Not just any home, that one that I saw, or like that. That's the one I want. Anyway, I think I mentioned manifesting in my last video, so I will talk about that another time. Welcome to any new subscribers that have joined since yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Welcome. It's been a mad 24 hours. Right, so I just need to show this. Can you see this? Right. Let me see. So, whenever I wear these trousers, for some reason, one leg automatically does LL Cool J by staying up. The old people would know what I'm saying. Sorry, the cool people will know what I'm saying. It just automatically stays up and always on the left leg. Oh, I need to stop doing that, sorry. Yeah, I'm tired, and I'm walking, and I've got a backpack on with not much in it because I just needed to stand straight. If you were at Fumination yesterday, Fumination! Okay, I hope that's not bad. You will know what I'm talking about. We had a posture session, and we also had a catwalk lesson, which I won. I don't care what anybody says. I won it. I was the only one doing blue steel with my face. Everybody was just walking. So, and there was a lady that I told needed to be disqualified. She was a beautiful 60-something-year-old lady. And then she said she used to be a model. I was like, so what are you doing here? So please, next year, Auntie Fumi, you need to disqualify all the ex-models. Some of us only did editorial and makeup. We didn't get to walk up at that because apparently my 5'7" height, that's right, was not tall enough. Anyway, on that note, I was at Fumination yesterday. The Fumination, the annual conference of Fumination. And it was an amazing day. If you watch my earlier videos, I did mention her, that she's one of my favorite people in the world. And if I thought I loved her before, I love her more. I've met her in person. I don't care what anybody says, she's an angel. And I think when I was saying to her and her lovely crew, Chief of Staff Auntie Christina, and Chief of Operations for the event, Auntie Ronke. I know she says she doesn't want Auntie, so Ronke. who's also my namesake, by the way, I said to both of them, I am staying till the end. I am going to stay here to pack up, to help, to whatever. And I'd already decided I was going to do all of this before what happened last week in terms of me being on the unemployment streets. Speaking of unemployment, I actually messaged my immediate line manager today because it was important to me to let him know that I wasn't angry with him. I mean, we've spoken already on the day because he was on annual leave when all this stuff happened, but I still needed him to see my words. And the other thing I did this morning, which was so lovely in a weird way, I actually went to read the transcript that the HR lady had written for my meeting, where they told me what had happened. And one thing I read that the CFO had said that I didn't hear at the time, because we did adjourn the meeting for 12 minutes while I collected myself. Because my one thing was, I'm not going to cry in this meeting. I mean, I went in with shoulder pads and everything. And, full beat, full drag. But emotions and whatever. Again, like I said, I love the job. I love the company. So I was hyperventilating, crying. So I was excused. Well, they left the room for me. And my colleague, companion / union rep, Letitia, shout out, was there. She's like, you're doing great. And Letitia, she's got a wonderful, wonderful, sexy accent. And she's like a proper lady, like me. So she helped me to get it together. And she brought tissues. That's how you know somebody likes you. Even me, that I'd already said I was not going to cry. Because the last thing I Googled was literally how not to cry in a meeting. And the only thing Google said was leave the area. I'm like, how am I going to leave the meeting? Anyway, Letitia came with tissues. Not toilet roll, tissues, like nice fancy tissues. Anyway, so it was good to see the CFO say something along the lines of, it's very clear that I've brought a lot of joy to the organization. And for me that was huge to read, because I don't remember him saying it. And if you recall, one of my top values is making a difference. So the fact that I'd been there 6 weeks and I made a difference was everything to me. I was like, okay, tick, I did that, and I'm happy with what I did. And my original plan when I was going to this new job was to be a wallflower. That's right. I was going to be a wallflower. I was basically going to be how I was before I became a mum. Because my journey to self-discovery, which is a rubbish title, didn't start until I became a mum. That's when I was like, wait, who am I? Who am I? Because up until that time, my only goal was to be a mum. That was my only ambition. And it's kind of like, while waiting to be a mum, I then was an accountant along the way, and a fabulous one too. So anyway, the wallpaper didn't work. And I mentioned it to one lady I met at the job, and she said the wallpaper position was already claimed by her, so I couldn't have it, which was quite funny. But yeah, it was just good to see that, and to see they aligned with my values. The way they did everything, once reading the transcript, was fair and just. In fact, they went a bit over and beyond what they should have done. I mean, my boss has been tagging recruitment agents, on my LinkedIn. He just asked me for my email, and it's amazing, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to God that I have no bitterness. I have no anything. I'm just like, okay. And I am literally taking one day at a time. One day at a time. This morning, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but my daughter and my boss's daughter, both toddlers, go to the same nursery. So all through the interview process, which was 3 stages, I kept bumping into him. And I remember thinking, oh crap, if I don't get this job, this is going to be well awkward. But at the time, I was like, oh, it's fine, because my daughter was downstairs in the nursery and his daughter was upstairs. So I was like, okay, we go through different doors anyway, so it'll be fine. But then, as of this morning, my daughter she's graduated from downstairs and she's gone upstairs. So last night or this morning? I think this morning, I was like, oh no, we might actually bump into each other because it's upstairs. So I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm the one doing drop off this morning, so I tend to take my daughter late because I very much appreciate that she won't go to nursery forever. At one point she will have to go to school at a proper time. So, and because I subscribe to hashtag YOLO, even though they say people don't say YOLO anymore, I do. I try to spend as much time with her as possible. So she tends to rock up at nursery about 9:30, and I know by then my boss would have dropped his daughter off. Even my new work wife, which I had got because everywhere I have a work wife, my work wife is also my boss's wife, so I miss her terribly. Hey Val. Yeah, see, we hadn't even got to the point where I was shortening her name yet, but here we go. So anyway, that's that. So at least I cleared that up because I didn't want him to feel odd or anything like that, or because sometimes men, they don't know how to convey something, or there's we don't know what to say. Like, I remember the last time I was at risk of redundancy, one of my male colleagues said, oh, I don't know what to say. He literally didn't say anything for 6 months, maybe 9 sif, because I think it was when I was going on mat leave that he said something, which was because I remember my risk of redundancy was announced, I think the same week or the week after I found I was pregnant for a baby that I'd been trying for years. Anyway, that's another story. But so that's that. It was just nice to close that off properly. But I went to Fumi DeSalvo's meet and greet yesterday. She's everything I thought she would be and more. They said don't meet your idols. Okay, let me take that back. Don't meet your role models, because they'll disappoint you or something. But nah. She was everything and more. And I told me, you need to learn how to delegate, because you can't be doing everything yourself at the end. When we are here. Anyway, I think at some point she got tired of me asking her if she needed any help. So I went to her chief of staff, Auntie Christina. I was like, Auntie Christina, what do you need? And she knows how to delegate, so. But it was fantastic. It was amazing. And if any of my new subscribers were at Fumination yesterday and you've accidentally taken a sum up machine, please let Auntie Fumi know, because it caused a bit of kerfuffle yesterday, and it was the only thing that went wrong. So even though it's not a thing, and the auntie that was upset about it because she was tasked with that particular machine, she was so upset, even though it was like it's fine, that every time she started getting a bit emotional, I would threaten to take my clothes off. Yeah, most people don't really want to see that in a public place. So it made sense to threaten her with that. Oh, anyway. I just wanted to shout out to Fumi. Thank you for everything you've done for us Fumination and beyond. There are friends of mine that know Auntie Fumi because I go on and on about her, and she said this and this is what she thinks about that. And I think for me to know of somebody that thinks so much like you and has lived a bit more than me is unbelievable. And I know I'm going to make more episodes or recordings where I talk about her quite a lot, because some of the things she says, I'll be doing something and then I'll stop and I'll stare at the screen like this, like, is she in this room? Can she hear my thoughts for her to say this thing? And it would be a video she recorded maybe 3 years ago, because a couple of years ago I actually started watching her videos from the beginning, because up until then I just started watching it from whatever she was posting, and I was like, you know what, I've learned too much from this lady that I'm sure there's more I can learn. So I actually went back to the beginning. No, how did that man say it? To the beginning, to see what she had to say. And obviously, as we found out later on, she was going through IVF, nobody knew. So again, like I said yesterday, you never know what people are going through. So just be kind. Be kind. Remember, it's one life. It's not a do-over. It's not a rehearsal. There's a Madonna song that says something about this is the main stage or something like that. It's not a rehearsal. This is it. But yeah, music is another thing that's a big thing for me. And I get a lot of my answers to my questions or ways of vocalizing what I'm going through by music. And I actually have one of my aunties that whenever I'm going through anything and I reach out to her or she randomly calls me, she just sends me a song or two. Because sometimes, it's not even sometimes, it's more like she knows there's anything that's going to get through to me, there's a song. I think it's school closing time. Yeah, so there's a lot of kids there. Anyway, that's all I have for today. And I'm so glad that I went for this walk, because otherwise I don't know how I would have recorded this. And I've actually managed to stay in a slow walking, but I wish I didn't wear joggers now, because it was 23 degrees. Now it's like 20, I don't even know, but I'm hot. Anyway, I hope and pray you all have a wonderful day. Again, shout out to the Fumination gang that I met yesterday. And I don't make friends easily or be myself around everyone. But the table I was at yesterday, with the exception of 2 or 3 quiet ladies who you could tell they just wanted to be on their own and not be bothered. So we left them alone. But to Sheila, Sherifat, and Noni, did you get home safe? Because you didn't tell anybody on the group chat. Yes, we have a group chat. Thank you for listening to me, and special thanks to Sherifat for doing the Q&A, and to feel me would respond to somebody about something. Sherifat would be like, are you listening? Did you hear what she said? So you can do this, girl. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. But yeah, I am very grateful, and I'm very hopeful. Not hopeful, what's the word I'm looking for? I know good things are gonna happen. Oh yeah, this hat, by the way, I saw it on a lady after I was in the club. We all waited for kebab. I said, I like your hat, and she gave it to me. So here we go. I don't know anything about fashion, but I like being comfortable. Anyway, have a lovely weekend. And this is day 5, I think. So peace and love, and remember, be kind to one another. Bye bye.